Hey there, it's Brian from Pub Toolbox. We find books if we go to the left navigation side once we've logged in under content. We click books. In my case, I've got 10 total books. Now, when we talk about books in Pub Toolbox, it doesn't mean that there are 10 different titles. You might have a book here that is a paperback. As you can see, Brownstone, my book, is a paperback, but it is also an ebook. That would count as 2. We also have some information that's required in order to make complete use of Pub Toolbox. One of them is the royalties for the book. Let's take a look at the paperback Brownstone, which is a Bryce Winters thriller, by clicking on it. Now, here in the left, under book information, we see that if it is retired or not. If a book is retired, by clicking the retire book button, it will not appear in any of your royalty statements after the book is retired, which means that you might have page reads and things for a book that's retired well into the future as a publisher, and you're not going to be sending out, they will not be identified in the royalty reports, so you won't be paying cents for reads into the future once a book is retired. It is completely excluded from all royalty imports and all royalty generated statements. We also now have the ability to return the rights really easily. You don't have to remember, you don't have to open up your email or anything. You could do this all within Pub Toolbox, which is a game changer. We see the details here. We see the royalty rate is 40%. So that is meaning that this has a 40% author royalty rate, which means when we get royalty payments from the platforms, KDP and Kobo and iTunes and all that stuff, there's 100% figured into that, whatever that is. Let's say it's $10. The royalty is $10, but the author rate, which is going to be less because we're a publishing company, right? We do a lot of support and things for the authors. There is a cut when our royalty report is done. If there are sales, the $10 sales for this book, the author gets $4 because the royalty rate is 40%, and we can adjust this. Those are one of the most important things, and the system will actually prompt you and let you know that there are important identifications and important data that's missing for anything within Pub Toolbox. Let's talk about sending the rights return notice. What this is going to do is when we click this button, it will send first of all, it will send an email notification to the author saying that this particular book has been rights returned to them, and that email serves as the definitive, this is your notice that your rights have been returned. If that particular author also has signed up for SMS notifications, they will also get a text message with a short message that will say the same thing. Within the book, as soon as a rights notice has been sent, we now no longer have the rights ability to click that again. The book is retired automatically. The status is retired. It will tell you the date of the rights return notice, and that is how that works. This will no longer show up in any of the royalty reports from now on. It's very simple. Here's a new book. And one of the other things you can do with the book is just straight up retire it without doing the rights revision. I could just retire that book. The new book I wrote is now retired. Again, the retirement system in general, if I made a mistake here, I can unretire the book. And then it's back. But the new book I wrote is really not a book. I'll retire it. And we'll go back to books. Let's take a look at, see this brand new book here that hasn't been released yet. It shows upcoming because we don't have that publication date. We can edit the book if we want to. We can put in the primary author. We can change it, add a new author, select a co-author and a royalty rate if you want to distribute it. Change any of the information, ISBNs, product IDs, publication dates. Of course, this one's in the future. Royalty rate, paperback. The author cost here. One other thing about books is a lot of times authors will request the ability to get a order of books because maybe they have a signing or something like that, and we can order author copies. Author copies are priced at less than the retail value of the book is, but a lot of times authors will have a markup. When we have this, and as you go through and as requests are made, you can actually put, let's say it's $2.50. That's the cost to the publisher for that particular book. When authors will request through the author copy request system within Pub Toolbox, this will be all factored in. So we'll update the book on that. If we take a look back here at the edit book, we should see $2.50 for the author copy. I'll show you real quick before we wrap up this video where the author upcharge is. Lots of times, again, the author copy costs, say, $2.50, but as a publisher, I'm going to charge the authors $3 more on their author copies. We can take a look at that by going to Settings. And under Settings, we have the author copy markup here. We see that it's $3. But it explains this. If there is 0, there's no markup, but for a $1.50 book, $2.50 would be a $4 total. That is it. If you have any questions, you can always reach out, and be sure to check out the other Pub Toolbox videos. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Happy publishing.